What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 8 of Training Tuesdays. It comes with a little bit of sadness. I'm not going to lie. This is the end of our Training Tuesdays segments, but it also brings some joy and some happiness knowing that we are in Challenge Week, and Challenge Weekend is right around the corner in a few days here. So today we really want to go through and recap all of the amazing topics and talk to all of the experts that we've had on the show previously. We'll cover over all of the most important parts of each of those parts of their expertise. We'll also provide some last minute advice and guidance as we head into Challenge Weekend. So as I do this, I'm going to bring in all of our experts back to say hello, all 5 of us together for the first time in a while.
Yep.
Ladies, how are you?
Great.
Doing great.
Hey, everybody.
Can you believe it's here? Dempsey Challenge Week felt like it was never going to arrive, and now it feels like it's happened so quickly.
It's here.
We always know it's right around the corner when it starts getting cold.
Yeah.
It was very cold this morning. I mentioned to you all before the call, one thing that I'm going to be sad of and one thing that I am going to miss is the drive in to Lewiston from Portland on Challenge Weekend. You see the leaves are changing color.
Yep.
You see the fog on the water as you're making that drive in. So I'll definitely miss that. What about you all? Is there anything that you're in particular going to be missing this weekend when we can't come together as usual?
For me, there's always people that I get to see every year that I wouldn't see in any other setting. A couple of riders I rode with on 2-day challenges that are consistent and always in line in my heat, ready to go on Sunday. I'll miss that a lot. And the hugs.
Yeah.
Miss hugs in general. Where are the hugs?
I know, right? We need more hugs. Maggie, what about you? Anything you're going to miss in particular?
Oh, I'll miss providing massage in the massage tent. I'm looking forward to doing that again next year, though.
Yeah.
Really connecting with people after they've participated.
Yeah. Judy, what about you?
Well, my role over the last few years has been mixing up smoothies in the kids zone, and that's always a blast. Just seeing all the energy that comes with all these young folks that are in the park. So
yeah,
next year.
Tish, what about you?
Well, I guess in years past, just being part of the organization of the event, just experiencing the enormity of the weekend and everybody coming together, the culmination of all of that work and just watching folks come together. And then Sunday afternoon, just smile with one of our beers from our beer garden with a big smile on my face. I'll just miss seeing everybody, but we'll be back next year.
Be back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the enormity is different. Obviously, we have so many more people involved in the challenge this year being virtual. So the enormity has changed, but it's still here. Judy, Maggie, Sizzle, I'm going to let you go for the moment. I'm going to keep Tish with me here, but we'll check in with you all momentarily here. See you soon. All right, Tish. First cab off the rank. I appreciate what you said about the enormity and the getting everyone together. For sure, I'm going to miss that. But there's a lot to celebrate. There is a lot of great things that have come of this year's Dempsey Challenge. We started with the Survivor Drive on the weekend. So having our survivors drive past the center and have a moment of solidarity and a moment of peace and knowing that they're still loved and cherished by our community. So that was great. And then now we're here, Challenge Week. You've put together an amazing training plan for people to get ready for the walk and run events. Why don't we do a quick recap on what people have, how they've changed over the last few weeks. They've put in the training, they've put in the work. Now they're ready. Now it's game time. Tell us about what they have experienced and the amazing things that they've been able to achieve over the last 7 weeks.
Well, I think, and again, all depending where each individual came from, for some folks, they may have never run a 5K. And with this training, it's just the success of each and every week being able to do a little bit more. And they're finding themselves now actually running and, not having to stop. And it's okay to stop. But the success of completing the program, whether you're new to running or you're a runner coming back to running, I just feel like this program just helps you to succeed. And I know folks that did it and stuck with it. I know they'll be doing their 5K. Some may be doing their 10K this weekend. But I look forward to seeing, how many folks have done that. I know with working with my grandkids, and it's been really fun. It's been interesting, especially since they got back to school, but to watch them succeed and different ways of doing it. So we got pretty creative in how we moved our bodies to make this work.
Yeah. And I think really the biggest thing for me is remembering that this really is a celebration of the work you have made. So you've come from a place where you set yourself a goal, you've put in the work. It may not have been perfect, but that's okay.
Right.
Your opportunity is to celebrate how far you've come and to celebrate the work that you have done. So whatever fitness you have, whatever goals you have for the weekend, you can't really change them now. And now's the time just to go out there and enjoy yourself and smile and celebrate what you've been able to achieve over the last couple of months.
Yes, and I think it's so important to know when you are out there in the course doing your whatever, whether it's your 5K or 10K, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to walk.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you didn't do it, because you have to say, you know what, I think we're going to walk for a couple minutes. It's totally fine.
And I would say, take in your surroundings. Take a moment, take a breath, look around at the beauty that you're surrounded by wherever you are. Because sometimes, even when we're in training, but even in events like this, you can have your blinders on and all you're worried about is what is in front of you when there's so much more to see. And because it's not a race, you have a moment to take a moment and think about why we're doing this. Why are we coming together? And it is to support all of those people who are managing the impact of cancer. And that really is the message at the end of the day. Give that a moment of thought, celebrate what you've done, take a breath, and take in your surroundings.
You got it. Perfect.
Easy. Simple.
Easy. Couldn't have said it any better.
Final words from you. We'll bring you back at the end of the show here, but final words for anyone who is preparing for their 5K or 10K this weekend. What should they be thinking and considering over the next few days?
I think it's important to, continue to do a bit of training this week. If you feel like, I need to get some more training in, but rest prior to. Give yourself a couple days break. Let the body recover. Hydrate. I know Judy will speak to that a little bit. Remember your stretching, your dynamic movement prior to your run, your stretching after. Be safe on the road. Think about all of those safety things when you're out there on the road. It looks like we're going to have a beautiful weekend. Yeah. So I think weather-wise, just dress comfortably and enjoy. Just enjoy, like you said, take it in and know that what you're doing is for a pretty amazing cause.
Yeah. Yeah, I would reiterate around the dynamic warm-up, because wherever you are in the world, if you are starting early in the morning or later in the night, your muscles a little cooler, you don't want to just start sprinting off the line. So thinking about that dynamic warm-up that you shared will be important, and putting that into place. And hopefully you've been doing that before all of your workouts as well.
Right, exactly.
There has been some questions around how people engage. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to post in the comments around how people can learn more about how they can connect with the community all throughout the weekend, share your successes, share your joy on social media. So please take a look at that. That will give you all the information you need to cover off this week. Tish, you're a star. Thank you so much for your guidance and your advice and your expertise over the last few weeks. We'll bring you back at the end of the show, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Maggie, you're up. You're next. It's so good to see you. It's been a couple of weeks since you joined the show. I really took a lot from your segment. Not that I didn't from the other segments, but this to me was hands-on. I was able to follow along throughout. Tell me about kind of what you're looking forward to this week, and perhaps how people can integrate what you were able to share on your segment over the next few days to get them ready, and then what to be aware of on challenge weekend should they need.
Right. Yeah. So cramp management really just has to do, cramp prevention with just taking care of yourself generally. So again, just reiterating what Judy and Tish said, or will say, eat well, hydrate well, recover, get plenty of rest beforehand. listen to your body, don't overexert, trust what you feel, walk if you need to walk. If you get a cramp, you can go back and watch my episode, which is on the Dempsey Challenge website, where I give really specifics about certain movements to do and certain acupressure points. But cramp management has to do with, continue to move, stretch the muscle. You can always massage the muscle. And there are those acupressure places that you can push that can really, really help.
Yeah. And you gave some great advice around preventative measures too. So as you're recovering from your workouts and you're getting ready, the dynamic warm-ups are important. But even just over the next few nights, as you're sitting on the couch watching TV, you can be getting those the acupressure points. It can be loosening up those muscles as well. So you did give some really good preventative advice, as well as management if something does come your way.
Yeah.
Another thing is thinking about the weather and thinking about how people may start a little earlier in the morning. They will, if they have too many clothes on, they may sweat. So just thinking about, obviously there might be needs for some cramp mitigation and management, but what are some of those other things that people can be aware of as they're riding, maybe taking on longer distances? You mentioned hydration and electrolytes. Anything else, any other final words of advice from you on that side of it?
Right. Well, I mentioned in my segment about just altering a little bit what you do, so you can always vary the length of your stride. I mentioned if you're going to listen to music, change the music a little bit so you get just a different quality. Just like you were saying, it's a celebration. So really look up and out and enjoy where you're running and what you're experiencing.
Amazing.
Yeah, don't get too hot, don't get too cold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed. Find your comfort level. Now, we're going to bring you back on at the end of the show, Maggie, but thank you so much for your expertise. Thank you so much for your energy. We really appreciate it, and we'll bring you back here momentarily.
Sounds good.
Dr. Sizzle, surprise, here we are.
I'm taking notes.
You've got a new background here. I love your backyard, but this looks pretty impressive too.
So I'm at the Book Mill in Montague, Mass, which is one of my favorite places to come and study. There's a used bookshop here and a little cafe, and we're right next to a mill and a river. So it's really serene, lovely little nook, kind of a secret spot.
Beautiful. Well, not so secret anymore. The thousands of viewers now know exactly where to go when they want to study.
Secret's out.
Now, you've provided some amazing advice over the last few weeks about getting ready for the 50-mile ride, not only the training-wise, but also thinking about bike maintenance, thinking about safety protocols. Why don't we talk about and give a bit of a recap on the most important topics that you covered in your segments over the last few weeks?
So that's a lot. It's been awesome being on these training videos. I'll really miss this part until we reunite again next year. But I think, you've covered some things already, including weather, thinking about safety for the weekend. So I would think about going out with, one or two people, small groups. We don't want to be riding in big groups with the pandemic on. Picking a safe route, somewhere where you're not going to see so much traffic, knowing that leaf peepers are going to be starting to come up into the area, just like Travis was talking about. It's that season to come and start seeing some foliage. So you want to be on routes that aren't so busy. Remember your hand signals.
Yep.
Remember to dress in something that can be seen. So depending on how long you're going out, when you're starting, the light's changing a little bit. So you might need to have lights on your bike, reflectors, maybe have some brightly colored clothing on, and some people go out with streamers on their bike because it's the Dempsey Challenge. So, do it up.
Yeah, do it up. I love it. And I think you mentioned some really important points around safety and making sure you are safe. And I think one other piece to that is make sure your bike's working properly as well. You've probably put on a few miles. It may be a while since you've last had a service. So if you can go to your local bike shop, or you can watch some YouTube videos where you can do some maintenance, because the worst thing you want is to get out on challenge weekend and have something mechanical go wrong. So use these next couple of days as an opportunity to check on your equipment and make sure it's functioning correctly as well.
Yeah, a lot of bike events would ask you to do a quickie inspection with a bike shop. So it's a great chance to do that. Also, make sure you got air in your tires before you leave.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's always helps. Now, I know that particular challenge weekends traditionally are cooler in the morning, heating up pretty quickly. The sun gets hot. I know the weather looks very similar and very nice this week, but it will be cooler starting in the morning. We've covered it a couple of times. Light layers, dress a little bit cooler so you don't overheat.
Yep.
Can you reiterate the dress and the protocol of kind of dressing for changing conditions?
Sure. So you want to pack a light layer, something you can stick in your back pocket. We talked about a windbreaker or a vest being a great thing to put on, especially if you're going to take a break. And knowing that even if you're hot when you take your break, once you slow down and you stop moving, your body's going to cool quickly. Hand warmers and feet warmers are also great tricks to have because they're flat and packable. And then making sure that you have enough nutrition, because you got to keep that metabolism up for when you get back on the bike. So have some good snacks with you.
Yeah, and we will talk to Judy about some of the snacks, but you provided a great Powerball recipe as well. So
They're so good.
try either of those. I'm actually going to throw that in the chat there now as well. Some advice on basically everything we've covered, all of Maggie's topics that she mentioned, all of the recipes there that we provided, all of the previous videos, all of the training plans, they're all now in the chat. So please go and take a look at those. Any final thoughts or words for people as they get ready for this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was, get your war paint on. We talked a little bit about the war paint I wear every day. I wear it for my mom. Super proud of her. It's her birthday tomorrow. Yay, happy birthday, Mimi. But today I've got my little circle of hope on. And this weekend I'll totally do it up. So it's a mindset more than a physical thing to get that war paint on, get ready to go. Because we do this for such an important reason. And, it doesn't stop this weekend. Think of this as the beginning. We go all year. So,
yeah, beautiful, amazing words. And I think that's the part we continue to need to reiterate is that this is for those people who are managing the impact of cancer and to support the Dempsey Center. And that's why we're all coming together. That's why we're all so passionate about it. Yes, there's a physical element, but there is that most important detail. And I think, honestly, the final word I want to say on that is, that comes with fundraising too. We've set an ambitious goal to raise $1.5 million this year as a community. We're tracking so well on it, but we have to go. Every single dollar counts. So keep your fundraising efforts up as well. Share your story, connect on social media, engage and enroll your community. So Sizzle, you're a star. I love your energy, same as the rest of you, but you and your war paint are a highlight, and we can't wait to bring you back in a moment. But thank you so much for your advice and expertise.
Of course.
Okay, see you soon. Judy.
Hey.
Master Judy, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You've been
thinking
here
about war paint.
War paint, I'm getting excited. I'm ready to run through a wall. I'm so excited about this weekend. And I'm going to reiterate what Sizzle said. I'm going to miss these. So I think we may just have to get our group together just to record videos and chat and have conversations and share those with the world ongoing.
Love it.
Now, you've been here quite a bit. You've, over the last couple of weeks, you've shared some amazing recipes. You've given some great advice on nutrition, on hydration, all of which hopefully people have been practicing prior to. Maybe we can reiterate, particularly around what people can do with their nutrition over the next few days to get fueled and ready for the challenge weekend, what they can prepare and have ready for challenge weekend and through their activities, and what they really need to think about from a hydration standpoint over the next few days as well.
Yeah, perfect. So, regardless of what event you are participating in, now is really the time to start getting yourself ready for that. For people doing shorter events, I would say that the last 3 meals before your event, you really want to focus on getting some good quality carbohydrates in. You don't have to overdo it and eat huge plates of pasta, but you definitely want to make sure that about 50% of your plate is probably carbohydrate, good quality carbs. And for those of you who are doing longer events, then you even want to back it up a little bit further and start about 3 days before your event, making sure that you've got good quality, consistent intake of carbohydrates. And then from a hydration perspective, it's a little bit the same, always kind of practicing hydrating well, but particularly for the few days before your event, practice drinking plenty of fluids. You can't overestimate how much those two components, carbohydrates and fluids, will impact how you feel during your event.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have great resources. We did share the links. So if you want to go back and watch some of those episodes and also take in some of the recipes and practice some of those things over the next few days, all those resources are available there for you. I wanted to bring up a couple of comments because I think part of the best part of this is the engagement from the audience. So I'm going to bring a couple of comments and questions up here. So we had Cora who mentioned she's going to be wearing a pink tutu to go along with Sizzle's war paint idea. It's an attitude. So bring the pink tutu. I love that. And then Debbie. Debbie's been a fantastic friend and supporter of the Dempsey Center and the challenge this year. We've welcomed her with open arms virtually this year to be a part of our community. And she's been such a fun, light part of the group. And she's been on all of these calls. So Debbie, we applaud you. We can't wait to welcome you to Lewiston next year, but enjoy your challenge weekend. And thanks for being with us. Judy, final thoughts, final words as people approach this weekend. What should they be considering? Maybe it's taking a deep breath, maybe getting good night's sleep, following all the advice, but anything else that they should be considering as we move towards the challenge weekend?
Well, first off, it's not a race, it's an event. So get out there and have a great time. If you're thinking about, be prepared, if you're doing a longer ride, figure out your route and look for some nice spots along your route to stop and have your snack breaks. Get to enjoy some scenery and chat a little bit with the folks that you might be riding with. And just have a great time. It's going to be a great weekend. Go get your grocery shopping done. You don't want to do that on Friday.
Yeah, get it done now. Plan ahead. Great advice, Judy. I'm going to bring the rest of the crew in here and we'll have another final moment together. Welcome back. One thing I did want to talk about is the fact that it is different this year. So it's not the same. We've talked about that before. There's a lot of new things happening. There's the Zwift ride. We're going to have the celebration that's happening on Sunday afternoon on live stream at 4 p.m. Eastern. So there's new things to consider. So make sure you go and check out the event schedule that I shared earlier. It's on our website, thedempseychallenge.org, and find ways you can participate. And start now. Start sharing your story, connecting with other people on social media. Go into the Strava group and let people know how you are participating. Engage and enroll yourself in the community because it is different, but we need each and every one of us involved and engaged to make sure we're reaching the goals that we set ourselves. Any final words or thought? I'll start with you, Sizzle.
I don't want these to be final. I think you're right. I think we need to stay connected through the year. So maybe we can figure out a way to do that. I know Debbie and I have been connected on Strava. She's all about the props and I love it every day because I work out so much. And then I just get props from Debbie all day long and I'm giving them back. So, Strava is a really great way to connect with people and we can do that beyond the event this weekend.
Yeah. Amazing. Tish, what about you?
Just getting back to Strava, I've been able to give kudos to so many. So for those of you that I haven't been able to give kudos to you. This weekend is going to be the best virtual event ever. Yeah. I'll be out there with my grandkids running a 5K. If you want to come out if you do live locally and you want to come out to the Outdoor Learning Educational Center in Auburn, the YMCA's property, I'll be out there at the Kids Zone doing a story walk and getting everybody warmed up. And you can actually do your 5K out there. We've figured out how you can do it. So if you want to join me. But kudos to all for what you've done.
Yeah, thank you. Kudos to you as well. Maggie, what about you?
Oh, just to reiterate what other people have said, you might be riding or walking or running solo, but you are not alone. You are absolutely not alone. And congratulations on this journey of getting strong, of what Sizzle said, being a warrior and just getting to know yourself better, your body better, and good job taking care of yourself. Keep going even beyond this weekend.
Yeah. I think that's a great point, Maggie. I think it's a launch pad. Like, let's use this as a launch pad. We get through this weekend, we celebrate our achievements, but let's not hibernate for the winter. Let's continue on our workouts. Let's continue on engaging with the community, engaging and sharing your story. It doesn't have to end here. We're living in this new world where it's so much easier to connect virtually with people around the world. Eventually, we will get together and hug each other again. But let's all use this and commit to using this as a launch pad for the future. Judy, final words, final thoughts?
Yeah, well, thank you to everybody who's participated. I've actually learned a lot in this, and I thank you, Travis, for being a terrific host, and I hope everyone just gets out there and has a wonderful weekend, and just know that there are people all over the world that are going to be participating all for the same cause, and that's just a beautiful thing. So thanks to all of you.
Yeah, I'll reiterate that. Thank you to all of you for your expertise and joining me each and every week. Thank you to everyone who has been watching and engaging and sending questions and comments and thoughts. And I'm a little sad. Honestly, I'm sad that these are ending, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like this weekend once we end the whole challenge, because it's been so much work and so much great opportunity this year. So I'm going to be a blubbering mess by the end of Sunday afternoon. I just know it. All right, let's finish with a big thumbs up, big wave for everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We can't wait to see you all virtually, and we'll bring Training Tuesday back next year, sometime. We'll be back sometime. Okay, you're all amazing. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.